Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Rockaway Fridays with a Wave. I'm Mark Healy, the editor-in-chief of the Wave newspaper, Rockaway's newspaper since 1893. Really want to thank our sponsors. Today's sponsors, of course, are Belisario Cruz Reyn, which is a local real estate group that have joined forces with Compass, which is a cutting-edge real estate company. And we had the pleasure of talking with Louis Belisario, one of the three founders of Belisario Cruz and Reyn, on our program earlier this morning. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back to Rockaway Fridays with a Wave. I'm Mark Healy, editor-in-chief of the Wave newspaper, and joining me today, Louis Belisario. Louis, you're sponsoring today's episode. Thank you so much.
Of course.
And also you are the founder of Belisario Cruz and Reyn.
There's three founders. Myself, Joe Cruz, and Jeff Rangach. We're just three brokers who came together and decided to create a powerhouse team. So yeah, three.
And it's Belisario Cruz Reyn.
Correct.
No end.
No end.
Okay.
No,
All right.
just straight through.
He just told me that before we started taping, but you know. I'm a little slow to the uptake.
It's all good.
Not enough coffee. He has coffee. Did he bring me any? He did not.
Okay,
so for folks who don't know, you guys are all part of Compass.
Yes.
Right, and you're three guys that doing really well and got together and created this team which is really a powerhouse team. The stuff that you put out there and the work that you do is really impressive. Now you're a Rockaway guy.
I am. Yeah. No, I live out here. Joe Cruz lives out here also.
Right.
Joe Cruz lives on 124th. I'm on 144th. I've been out here for about 6 years. Born and raised in Brooklyn in Marine Park. Out here 6 years. Best thing I ever did in my entire life. I tell everybody I ever meet the exact same words.
And it's funny. You have that Brooklyn to Rockaway. That path. That path that so many people that live out here who have lived out here for 20, 30, 40, 50 years that made that same trek. I'm a Brooklyn guy myself.
Yep.
My dad was a Brooklyn guy, grew up in the St. John's Home for Boys.
Okay, wow.
So, every time somebody says, what's your Rockaway connection?
Yeah.
I got the Omega, right?
So I'm good to go.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about what it is that you guys do. I know that you have certainly incorporated a lot of technology into your approach. It's not this just, making the cookies and putting them at the open house. There's a lot more that goes into it.
No, we don't make cookies anymore. We've tried to incorporate tech, but more than tech, even social, right? So social media, everybody knows you look all day long. You're looking at your phone, right? So you probably look at your phone hundreds of times a day. It's an addiction at the end of the day, unfortunately. And fortunately. So we really focused and put a lot of effort into marketing our properties, ourselves on social, through Instagram, through Facebook, through LinkedIn, through Twitter, because that's where the people are. Right? So when you're selling a house, back in the day, it used to be, well, put a sign in front of the house, put an ad in the newspaper, right? Unfortunately, the times have changed, and the buyer base, the average buyer is probably my age. I'm 34 years old. The average buyer is within a few years of where I am. So where is that buyer? When you're putting your house out there, putting a sign in front is just not enough to get you the most money for your home. So in order to create demand for that property, we felt that investing in social media would be the best way of doing that. And I use the word investment very, very strongly in every conversation I have about real estate, because most real estate brokers are not investing in you as a seller or a buyer, right? They're just doing their thing the way it's been done for whatever amount of years they've been doing it, and it works, but they're not willing to step out of their comfort zone a little bit and do something different that may bring, maybe it brings you more money, maybe it saves you time, maybe it offers more convenience to you. We want to bring that to the table, and I think that's what kind of sets us apart from everybody else.
And I think that's why there's a synergy with the Wave and
100%.
Belisario Cruz Reyn, because there is that understanding that that digital component is so important. I love Twitter. I love social media. And the Wave. Before I came to the Wave in 2014, we didn't really have that aspect. We had a website,
right?
But it's like putting the sign in front of the lawn, on the lawn in front of the house. it only does so much. You
Right.
know, there has to be interaction, there has to be accessibility, there has to be engagement.
Sure.
Which is,
the
really
the other
important.
part of it is that today's a very instant gratification society, right? So
Right.
people don't, when you date, people don't go to bars and or blind dates anymore. They're going online to find
Right.
find dates, right? They're swiping right, swiping left.
Right.
It's the same concept with real estate, right? So first impressions are everything. So if 99% of people are finding your house online, whether it's through Zillow or StreetEasyRealtor.com or social media, putting your best foot forward and looking your absolute best on that platform is the key to getting the buyers through the door. Because especially now, when you're talking about everything that's going around the world, people don't want to leave their house unless they have to leave their house, unless
Right.
they're motivated to leave their house, right? So we want to motivate them to do that, which is why we incorporate a ton of video, always professional, high resolution photography, floor plans. Those things are so important in getting top dollar for a home today, and we make it our business. If I'm attaching my name to it, you need to understand that my name is the most important thing to me. And if I'm attaching that to a product, it's going to be a top-notch product no matter what.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is that, people sometimes have a different persona when they are in their professional, playing their professional character or
Sure.
doing what it is, professionally what they do. You have been very comfortable being yourself and having your family be part of
100%.
what it is you do. And I think that was refreshing for me when we first heard that you were coming on board. That was the thing that struck me. It's like, here's a guy that thinks a lot like me, and like us, because the Wave is a family business.
For sure.
That whole aspect of family being just as important as, your ability to sell.
Absolutely, and I'm blessed in many ways. And when I grew up, I'm like a third generation real estate broker. I came from a family owned and operated company prior to me branching out and doing my own thing. And just being a real person and being relatable to everybody else. A lot of real estate brokers just throw their face on a billboard. It's like, you're not a celebrity. You're not curing cancer. You're selling a house, right? Like, it's not rocket science. I'm very good at what I do, but I don't think, I'm, the end all be all to it, right? So to me, relatability is key. I wouldn't want to work with somebody on the largest financial decision they may ever make in their entire life unless I could relate to that person and like that person and saw that person was just like me. Right, I grew up, very middle to lower class when I grew up in Marine Park. So to me, I always understood that, when you have to pay a real estate broker a commission and you do the math and you look at that number that you're paying that broker, that's a lot of people's salaries in certain situations, right? So, for me, the understanding of that, being as flexible as I possibly can with people is important, and just showing, again, I'm a real guy. Just a kid kid from Brooklyn, like Captain America in a way, right? Where, that's all it is. That's all it is. We're not doing anything, we're doing it better than a lot of people, but we're not doing, the Lord's work by any means,
And the great thing about that is you mentioned the Captain America line. I'm a kid from Brooklyn. He also mentioned, there's a moment in the film, The First Avenger, where he talks about Rockaway Beach too, which is always great. I love that.
Yep.
I think they even mentioned Utopia Parkway in the movie, and I lived on Utopia Parkway for a while too when I lived in Flushing with my parents.
So basically, we're Marvel characters.
Yeah, exactly.
We're superheroes. That's what it is.
So, all right. So I want to just jump back for a second because I want to because you mentioned something before that really struck me, and it was like I tell everybody how great Rockaway is.
Yeah.
How did you find Rockaway?
I've always known about Rockaway my entire life. I mean, I used to take the Q35 from Avenue T and Flatbush Avenue down here literally almost every day in the summertime, and then I'd go to 139th Street, was the beach that me and my friends used to go to. We used to be down here every single day in the summertime. I remember walking around here when I was a kid and looking at the houses down here and saying, wow, I really love to live down here. I grew up in a 2-bedroom walk-in apartment, 3 kids and 2 dogs and my mother. So coming down here and seeing these houses and seeing the way the lifestyle was always an attractive thing. And then as time went on, she's my wife now, but my girlfriend at the time, Carla, we lived in Bay Ridge. Lived in Marine Park, then we moved to Bay Ridge, right? So we were in our 20s, And we were just getting tired of like searching for spots, and just the neighborhood was kind of changing a little bit, and we were just like, you know what, we're over this, like we're going out every Friday and coming home drunk and then doing it again Saturday night. I'm over it at this point, even though I live in Rockaway now, which is really like the same thing at the end of the day, but at least on the beach. So then, one day we said, why don't we go look in Rockaway? And at the time, my cousin John had bought a house out here, and I said, you know what, he loves it out here. Let me go check it out. So we literally, no joke, saw one house, bought that house. And that was the first house I bought, was on 124th and Newport Avenue. It was a 2-family. It made complete sense. I was like, this makes sense. And from a real estate mind, I was like, this just makes sense. I know it does. I want to live out here. So we pulled the trigger, bought our first house out there. Then recently we moved. We had a baby about a year and a half ago. Thank you. And we said, you know what, we don't want to be in a 2-family anymore. We want to be in a single family. So we bought a house over on 144th. But we moved my mother-in-law out here. Right, so at the time we had like the sickest plan. We were like, we don't have a kid yet, right? But she had just retired. She was living in Bensonhurst, and we were like, you know what? It's kind of far. We're going to eventually have a kid. Wouldn't it be sick? Like, I'm big on the universe, right? So I just put things out there, and I hope it works, right? So I said, wouldn't it be awesome if we could get your mother out here too? If she's retired, she'd love living out here. She's retired. The beach is down the block. She'll have the baby within a week. I swear, we walked down the block from our house on 124th, and there was a condo for sale by owner. No broker involved. They literally just put a sign in the window like this big. And I said, this would be great for your mom. Within 48 hours, we put her house on the market on West 7th Street, sold it in 24 hours, had a bidding war on it. She went ahead, bought that condo, and for like a year and a half, she lived down the block. We lived on one corner, she lived on the other corner. And now she's down here. Eventually, I may move my mother down here from Marine Park. My sister would love to be here. My cousin wants to be here. This is, to me, the only place. And again, this may potentially hurt me in business, but it's the truth, though. I wouldn't live anywhere else in this entire city than here. If I ever left here, I would leave New York. I would never live anywhere else but here. The lifestyle is just phenomenal. Everybody's awesome down here. Everybody's so nice and kind. It's nice to have neighbors you could go and talk to, and obviously having the beach down the block is phenomenal. You can't beat that, and just the community and the feel and the vibe and everything about it. There's no place I'd rather be than here.
The energy here is just, and it's diverse. It's not just one kind of energy. Maybe 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when people called it the Irish Riviera, it was fitting. Yeah. It still is in some ways. And evidence of that is the Rockaway parade, the St. Patrick's Day parade that happens every year. And
I had the best seat in the house for that, 124th in Newport.
Oh, that's great.
On the corner, best seat in the house. I had a party there every single year that we lived there.
That's really the last normal day that we've had on the peninsula and everywhere since then. But I also want to talk about. I know you have a busy day ahead of you, and I know you got a lot of stuff to do, but I do appreciate you coming down and spending some time with us.
Anytime,
but,
happy to do it.
But this is my, whenever I have someone on that works in an industry that I know people that work in it, but I don't really understand it, in a sense that how do you Compass is a big company, right? And has a lot of influence, and really is one of those cutting edge companies that really is trying, as you mentioned before, they're trying different things. They're not just, content to do the sell, to sell the house and flip the house and do all that stuff. What was it about, what was it about the real estate? And you said it was because you had grown up in it, but what is it about it that you love?
All right, so there's a lot of things I love about it, and believe me, there's been plenty of times where I've walked around my house and paced and asked myself why I do this work, because it's also insane, this business. It's literally insanity most of the time. But what I love about it, I love the action of it, right? When I graduated, I went to St. Francis College. When I graduated St. Francis, I had started real estate like my junior year in college. I was about 19, 20 years old, and I had a decision to make when I left. I said I could either, go to the city and take a regular job on Wall Street or wherever it may be, or I actually passed the FDNY test with like 104. I could have went and did that, and something called me into real estate and said, just do this because you can create your own lifestyle, which is what I like to do, right? So I don't want somebody to tell me this is what your salary is, this is what you're getting, this is it, here's your benefits, here's what you get, and it's just monotonous in an extent. Some people are made for that. I was not made for that. I need something different every day. I enjoy figuring out problems, right? So my mind works nonstop. And if I can figure out angles and ways to help somebody get to their next place in the world, I'm all about that. So that excites me. And for me, family is very important to me. And I grew up single mother, scenario. And for me, being a father and being something that I never really had in my life was very important. And I said, you know what, in the future, again, this is thinking 10 years ago, almost 12 years ago. I want to be there and I want to be around for my family and my children to give them time. Even though real estate eats up a lot of time, at this point in my life, I could pick and choose the time that I take for myself and my family, and then the time I give to the business. I give a lot of time to the business, but I always make sure I carve out time for my family and to be a father and to do all those things that I've always wanted to do in my life. So really just that's what attracts me to it. That's the main thing for me. Yeah.
Look, I love that you were able to come down and be part of this today. I really appreciate you coming down and being a sponsor for the program, and I hope it's not the last time we get
No, please, I'll do this thing every day, man. I love this stuff.
That's Rockaway Fridays with the Wave, our segment with Louis Belisario from Belisario Cruz Reyn, one of our great advertising partners here at the Wave, and we'll be right back. So hope you enjoyed that interview that we did with Louis Belisario earlier today. It's the first time I've met him in person. He's been doing a lot of work with John Sanchez, our marketing director, and of course, Matt Caputo, who is our special projects editor. He's been doing a lot of work. You'll see it all over our Instagram and our Twitter and our Facebook, the great work that our team has been doing with their team. And as you could tell, Louis is a salt of the earth type of person, and I urge you to do business with him and do business with all of our advertisers because they're really great. And here's the thing, folks. The great thing about our advertisers, right? All the people that we work with, and even the people that don't advertise, the people that are part of this community, the part of the fabric of this community, our local business owners and entrepreneurs and people who, work here at the way, on the peninsula every day. These are the people that keep our economy going. These are the people that keep our community strong. We don't just want to survive, we want to thrive. So the best way to do that is to support them, and we appreciate it. We really do. And I know they do too. I know they do as well. So this week's paper, our front page, Jamaica Bay bill vetoed. Allison Case did a great job on that story this week, and it really goes through all of the different things that came into the decision that Governor Cuomo made. Now, we don't feel here at the paper that there was enough outreach with the local environmental groups like Jamaica Bay Eagle Watchers or the American Littoral, I'll try to say that one more time, Littoral Society, folks that do a great job in not only maintaining Jamaica Bay, but basically taking Jamaica Bay from where it was 2 decades ago to where it is now. It's just unconscionable to us that the legislation that's in place that's going to run out in 2022, that both for the 2 years now that State Senator Joe Adabo and Assemblywoman Stacey Pfeffer-Amato have been working on, to really get this thing done. To have it vetoed by the governor 2 times. And it looks like, based on some of our conversations this week that we had with some of the stakeholders, just seems that the governor is listening to the wrong people. So we're hoping that he starts listening to the right people. And I hope that over the next, couple of months, couple of weeks, that he does make the time to sit down and really talk to the people whose lives will be affected. I mean, the state DEC, they're coming up with ideas, from an economic standpoint, but that goes kind of against what Governor Cuomo has said he stands for, which is the environment and standing for, the people who live in the communities that we're trying to help. So we're hoping that, with everything that's going on, that he sometimes, will find some time to sit down, because he hasn't. From what I understand, the only people he's listening to right now are the state DEC, the state agencies. And, when we reached out to the governor's office, we got the same canned response that was given to the stakeholders. So, we're hoping he does a better job. We're going to keep reaching out. I know they are certainly going to help, and anything we can do to help those efforts is something we're going to do. Also this week is our holiday shopping If you check it out, it's our second lead this week. There's a lot of coverage in this week's paper about shopping downtown, shopping uptown, shopping in the middle of Rockaway. And really, folks, now more than ever, let's support our local businesses, really. Most of them, if not all of them, have an online shopping option that you can, instead of going to Amazon or whoever, support local businesses. Yeah, maybe it takes a little bit longer to get to you. Maybe it costs a little bit more money. But folks, if we don't have our community, this community, that if we don't have that, what do we have? So let's try to do the right thing and support them, and support them. So that's another reason to pick up the paper today. And also to read about the great journey of the Rockaway Ravens. The coach, Archibald, Breland Archibald, Breland, really, he got the quote of the week because his quote basically given to his team after losing a really tough game in the championship, just the journey of trying to get that season done in such a crazy year, and what it meant to the boys and the girls that are involved with the Ravens and the families, and certainly what it's meant to us. We've been covering the Ravens for a long time now, so it was really nice to see that even though they lost that game, even though they lost that final game, that the message was thank you for your commitment to our team. So that's why we gave Breland the quote of the week this week. And I definitely want you to check out our Wavemaker. Obviously, the Wavemakers is a column you should read every week, but especially this week, because this week we profiled our friend Frank Amato, who co-owns Elegante Pizzeria with his family. And he's married to Assemblywoman Stacey Pfeffer Amato. But that's not why he's a Wavemaker. He's a Wavemaker because he's been a special guy to us for a long time. He makes great food. We've certainly done our catering with him. We've eaten there. We've been happy to. It's not a question of, let's go help out our sponsor. No. That's not the reason. The reason is he makes great pizza. He makes great food. I love his Meatball Hero. I love his Peppers and Eggs Hero. Those are two of my favorites that we get at Elegante. But definitely read about Frank. You're gonna find out some stuff that maybe you don't know about Frank. And that's what Wavemakers is all about, right? That the folks that make this community what it is. But before we leave you today, usually we save Wavemakers for the last, but I thought it was important this week that we spoke to our friends over at St. John's Episcopal Hospital, because this week they did a great thing, and they basically took over the Rockaway Park Medical Arts Facility over on Rockaway Beach Boulevard, over by Beach 105th Street, and that that is something that building has been looking for tenants. It's been looking for somebody to take it over. Well, now the St. John's Medical Group has taken it over, and so we took a moment to talk with Rosemary Bonilla. Rosemary, of course, is the Vice President of Physician Practice and Ambulatory Care, and she joined us earlier today. And that's how we'll leave you. So have a great weekend, everybody, and check out what Rosemary has to say. Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to another segment here on Rockaway Fridays with a Wave. We are talking with Rosemary Bonilla. She is the Vice President of Physician Practice and Ambulatory Care at St. John's Episcopal Hospital. Now, the St. John's Hospital Group has just opened up a new facility. It's something that people have been waiting for a long time, or they've moved into a new facility in Rockaway Park. Good morning, Rosemary, and how are you today?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing well, thank you.
The medical arts building has been there on Beach Channel Drive and Rockaway Beach Boulevard, has been there on Rockaway Beach Boulevard, standing there for a couple of years now. And the news that St. John's was going to be moving there really was exciting, I think, for a lot of folks. So just talk a little about that process and how St. John's made that move to Rockaway Park.
Sure. So unfortunately, our community has struggled with healthcare disparities for decades. And as the leading healthcare provider of the Rockaways, we are leading the effort to close the gap. With this new location, there are multiple services located under one roof instead of having to travel to multiple offices. Patients can get the care they need in one central location. This is significant because many Rockaway residents do not have access to readily available transportation, so they rely on us for the majority of their healthcare needs. We determined through a New York State-sponsored community health needs assessment that there is a substantial need for more primary care and specialty care services in the Rockaways. So we are fulfilling that need at Beach 105th Street.
Well, I really think that St. John's has been doing so much, especially over the last, years since I've been here. And I got to Rockaway in 2014 as editor of The Wave. And I've seen it myself with my own eyes, how the services have improved, how things have, the investments that St. John's has made in quality care and really making sure that its patients and the community are benefiting from all of the improvements that are being made. And I think that this is a really significant step when you are in that location right there, because of, not just Dayton and not just all those people that have been, really kind of begging for some kind of facility that they can go to, but also with this pandemic, healthcare has become even more important. It's become crucial. It's become like life-saving. So having St. John's there, I think, is going to really, I know, is going to really help mental health as well. Just knowing that you can, get there so quickly,
Right.
Either public transportation, the train is right there. People can, get there it's kind of like right in the middle of the peninsula, so people can get there rather quickly. To be more specific, what are some of the services that people are going to be able to get at that Rockaway Park facility?
So there's 3 phases to the opening of the multi-specialty site at Beach 105th Street. The first phase, we opened, we're live today, we have a full schedule, is adult and pediatric dermatology, adult endocrinology, behavioral health services, and primary care. And that's on the 2nd floor. Coming in the spring of 2021, we will be providing cardiology, general surgery, neurology, advanced additional primary care, and vascular surgery. And in January 4th, we have a new breast surgeon joining our group. She's a board certified breast surgeon, and she'll be servicing patients at that location as well.
Well, look, it's all really exciting.
Right. And I have one more phase. On the 3rd floor is the Margaret O. Carpenter Women's Health Center. And it will be opening in the fall. And we will be providing 3D mammography services, behavioral health again, breast surgery, gynecology, oncology, imaging, maternal fetal medicine, nutrition, OBGYN, and urogynecology. And bone density and ultrasound services there for women.
I mean, look, that, it's one of those narratives that we've talked about so many times about, with St. John's being the only hospital on the peninsula, for St. John's to be making the efforts to reach everyone on the peninsula is really, it's really laudable, for, you yourself. How long have you been with St. John's?
I joined St. John's 4 years ago.
4 years ago. So you're right there at the cusp of all the different things that are changing. All the different things that.
Yes, it's pretty
Right.
pretty amazing and spectacular. We're seeing things happen, and we're extending our ambulatory footprint in the Rockaways. We're providing quality care to our patients. Our primary care centers are PCMH certified. That means primary centered medical home certified. So that, that's a certain model that you have to
Right.
To be certified by New York State, you have to make sure you do certain things and center your care on the patient, which is what we're doing, and the family. So we're providing patient-centered care to our patients. So this is a good step.
So when people ask about, I know that that's always been a concern, in addition to, people asking about the services that are going to be provided. A lot of people have been asking us about employment opportunities. Are there jobs available at the new building? Are you going to be accepting applications? Is local hiring going to be a priority? Are those things that are going to be discussed or offered, or is?
Yes, most of our workforce are Rockaway residents. So, and at that location as well. But we will be, hiring more clinical staff. There'll be a need to hire more.
Right.
Certainly,
right.
When we start to open all of these different.
Is there going to be so if people want to find out about stuff like that, or services or any of those things that you want people to know about the new facility, where should they go?
They can go to the St. John's Episcopal Hospital website. And we also have a page there under St. John's Medical Group as well. I just want to mention that breast cancer and heart failure is the leading causes of premature death in the Rockaways. And, premature death is death before the age of 65. We are trying to make a dent in that with the specialty services that we will be providing at this location.
The other thing too is, when I think about having the ability to, put all those services in that one building, another question people have been asking me is COVID testing going to be available there?
Yes, COVID testing is available at our Beach 129th Street location. We moved them over there. So we always had that availability for COVID testing at that location.
Right.
So it is available. We'll also be having the vaccination available for them as well.
I'm just saying, you could have a website. I could put it in the paper and people will still ask, I will say, well, didn't you read the paper, or didn't you see the website, or didn't you see, and they'll still ask. So, but that's okay. We want to make sure that we are being accessible to people's needs.
Right. So testing and vaccination will be available at the Beach 105th Street site.
Great. What are some of the challenges right now that you specifically are facing? I mean, how is St. John's doing as far as, people are saying hospitalizations are on the rise. Obviously it was really rough in the very beginning, of this pandemic in March and April. And since then, we did flatten the curve, but now the curve is starting to uptick again. How's St. John's doing? How's everybody there doing?
We're seeing a very slight increase in the number of admissions of COVID positive patients, but we're ready. We're ready. We have a plan in place. We have enough PPE to last through the surge, if we do have a surge. So this time, the first time was rough because we didn't know the disease, and
nobody did.
Nobody did, but we're ready now. So the
look,
Department of Health, they also have like a dashboard, and every hospital in the area, if they see that they're at capacity, they're going to divert patients. So there's a plan in place.
Well, look, my mom was a nurse, and, so I certainly understand, the sacrifice and the commitment and what all of you do at St. John's. I just want to thank you, and the whole St. John's group, not only from us here at the Wave, but everyone we talk to, is just so thankful and grateful for all the work that you're doing and the constant, consistent investments that St. John's is making to improve medical care here on the peninsula. Thank you so much, not only for joining us today, but certainly, doing the work of really courageous work that you're all doing.
Okay, so I just want to I just want to point out that if you could call 718-318-3434 to make an appointment, and we have availability, so please call and come visit the site, and we'll provide quality health care to our community and our patients. That's our mission. That's our goal. We're invested. We're committed. And we thank you for the opportunity to serve you.
What's that number again?
718-318-3434.
Well, Rosemary, thank you so much for being with us today. I want to thank Tom Malillo and Zalika Benitez also for efforting this. And we love working with St. John's. We're very proud to be partners with you guys. And really, anytime you need anything, just let us know.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day and a great weekend. Thank you.
You too. Take
Okay.
care.
Bye.